Good morning. Welcome to today. Before I start this video, I just want to, off the cuff, from my vision of things, my personal vision is I live on a street that is more or less an avenue. Some might call it a boulevard, where the speed is 40 kilometers an hour or closer to 30 miles an hour. It's 40 kilometers, 30 miles an hour. And the cars drive down here 60, 70, 80, double the speed limit. Absolutely no respect. Smoke a cigarette butt, throw it out of the car. Personally, if I make a mistake, let me know. If I drop something on the ground, I don't pick it up, let me know. I don't think that really ever happens, and it most likely has happened in my past. But to not respect, speed down the street. I was young once, I remember what I did. And when you grow up, you see what it does. People sitting in their houses, hearing these cars. Does it bring them any frustration? What actually does happen when I'm speaking, watching a video, is that it distorts your capacity, and let's call it noise pollution. You hear a plane going over here and you lose your trend of thought. So anyways, let's get on to some of these numbers. I do a lot of numbers. I bring pieces and parts together in relationships. I was asked about roulette the other day. One side of roulette is chaos. The other side of the roulette is the flower of life. This is the side of chaos. Do I believe or think there's some kind of reality why the numbers were set up this way? Yes, I do. What it is, I do not know. I can tell you that 22 and 15 is 37, that 34 and 3 is 37. I can tell you that 24 and 13 is 37, 36 and 1 is 37, 36 and 3 red is 39, 3 and 34 is 37, 15, 22, 37, 55 and 32, so it's 37, 39 all the way around. So it's like little bubbles or circles. You can put circles all the way around. On the other side, what happens is, hold on a second, let me do something else. When I draw a line, because there are 38 numbers, I will be able to draw these lines equal to each other. If I start on the left of this, it ends up on the right of this. If I start up on the right of this, it ends up on the left of this, and it creates the angle. What size is this angle? What if it was this big? Would the angle be the same? I don't know. I'm not into math that way, but we can figure it out. What I want to talk about here is 1/9 and 8/9. You notice the way the 9 and 9 don't add up together, but the first number do add up together. 8 and 1 is 9, making it 9 over 9. 7 and 1, 8 over 8. 6 and 1, 7. So all of these will create one whole. The numeric value of 19 is spirit, and it is created from 13. 1 times 3, 1 plus 3 equals 3 and 4. 3 times 4, 3 plus 4 equals 7 and 12, 19. It can be minus, and there's other ways to do it. What does it actually mean? I do not know. Right now I'm bringing numbers that match each other. 8 and 9. 1 times 8, 1 plus 8 will equal to 8 and 9. That's how it's created. 8 times 9, this is going to create the letters high. This is going to create the letters AI, A and I. 1 and 9 is 10. 1 minus 9. When you have 10, you have 1. 1 minus 9 is 8. 10 and 8, or 1 and 8, will come together in this scenario. So this, in the minus and the plus, will come down to this. 1 plus 9 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. 1 minus 9 is 8. 1 times 9 becomes the totality of 9. What does it mean? I don't know. Here we have hat, and the element of HA is what? 89 comes over here. Well, this is what I was talking about. G and H, where do we get G and H? Where did we get 8 and 9? 1 times 8, 1 plus 8 created that, which is up over here, which is related to this. G and H, gateway to the heaven. In the deck of cards, it shows you 2 dots in the center. 5 dots and 2 dots equaling to Earth. 5 dots and 3 dots, I like to call it electric company. 7 times 8, 56. 5 and 6, 11. 1 and 1 is 2. 7 and 8, 15. 1 and 5 is 6, 26. G and H. Why G and H? Oh yes, G. It's not only just G and H. It's GH and it's F in between, because the 6 and 2 creates the 8. I shouldn't have done it that way. Just like 9 and 8 equals to 17. 1 and 7 equals to 8. I should have put the F in this one. I'm putting the F in this one. Okay, it's going to show you the relationship in the deck of cards where both 6, 7, and 8 are all showing 6 images the same. Where is 2 and 6 coming from? The 2 is the 7 times 8, and that's where you get your 2 and 6. But this is 6, 7, and 8 as in 2 letters, and so on and so forth. In blackjack, you have stand on 17, and that's a funny thing because the Q and the U in our alphabet, in our language, in English and French, more often than not, Q will follow U as the 17th and 21st letter, or 8 and 3, or the numeric value that combulates in numbers to equal to gold. The spirit, the half-life, because the 1 times 6, 1 plus 6 is what will create this. You have A and G. A and G is another element. You have F and G, and just give me a second here. The 5 and 6 is the student. I like to call the 5 and 6 of the student. In the game of craps, when they come out on a roll, they usually scream out, "Yo, 11." And the student. Inside of 5 and 6 is 7 and 4, and that is the numeric value for, and I'm using just basic numbers. I'm not using, must be 1,000 words that have numeric value 74. Jesus, number 74. Jesus. So if you divide that 74 by 5, I don't have my calculator with me, but if you divide the 74 by 5, you're going to get one result. Time, T-I-M-E. If you divide 47, sorry, time is 47. If you divide that by 4, you would end up with 11 plus the remainder of 3. And there's always going to be a remainder of something, and that remainder will tell you a different story, a different placement of where those calculations end up. Remainder 1, remainder 2, remainder 3, remainder 4. Will you ever have any more remainders? Well, we do have to take into the account that I use different relationships for which reasons, according to our phone 147, 258, 369, and where 1 on the cube is located inside the 5, where 1 in the cube is also located in the 3. So I take all these into account and give them their value accordingly, according to certain games. And I like to use the cards, and I especially like to use the square cube. Okay. There's 2 ways to create the half in the cube. One is cutting it this way, one is cutting it straight down. One is holding on this angle and cutting it straight down this way, or chopping it up this way in between the circles. We do know every side is a value of 9. We can see the 6 over here. We can see the 1 in the center, and then we can see the 2 over here, and that's a total of 9, where we only get to use 7 unless we turn this and this. 7 one way, 7 the other way, of a total of 9. 7 and 4 go on the outside. On the outside of 7 and 4 is 3 and 8, and that is the gold. The gold encompasses time and Jesus. And then inside of, let me write this down, 56, 47, 38, 29, and what's inside of 11? 9, 10. 1 plus 0 equals to 1. 2, 1. So you see the way they both come together. 3 and 8 is gold. Time of Jesus, of the Son, the student, the game of roulette. I call this the half-life because in measurements, all you need is the 4 corners to have your real size of your square. The 1/5 is used in horse racing. Horses and the sun match up. 5 and 4, numeric value for the sun, which also is created by 1 and 4. 1 and 4 will create 4 and 5. 1 and 5 will create 5 and 6. 1 and 6 will create 6 and 7. 1 times 6, 1 plus 6. 1 times 5, 1 plus 5. 1 times 4, 1 plus 4. 1 times 3, 1 plus 3. 1/4 representing Earth. 3/4 representing the Moon. 1/3, I like to call that pi time, representing the AC. And this number, when it's calculated to its fullest, will recreate the 19 AC and DC, where 2 times 3, 2 plus 3, 6 and 5 will recreate the student. And then you have AB, AB. Imagine the two closest numbers have split everything equally. This separation belongs to this separation. The alpha beta is the difference over here. 2 is separating this from this becoming 1/4. 3, the 1/3, is separating this over here. Here, the 1/4, add 4 to this one, you end up with the 5th. So the sun and the moon come into the effect of the student. Where here, the 5, the energy of the sun is affecting the half-light to the gateway, and where Q comes in. And then the 7 and the 8, the G and the H, I like to call it the gateway to heaven. The alternate way of saying the letter F, because when GH comes together in the word laugh, you get an alternate sound. You have 11, you have 11, you have 11, you have 11. 6 by 5 is 30. You end up with 3. 7 by 4 is 28. 3 by 8 is 24. 2 by 9 is 18. And 1 by 1 is 1. So the continuation of the multiplication is 3, 1, 6, 9, 1. I like to call 6 and 9 rotation of the heavens, because in artwork, when you put the 6 and 9 together, you end up with the 8 connecting the dividing of the two sides, and I like to call that the dividing of the 7th gate. Raphael, keeping it short. Thank you for watching. Have yourself a nice Saturday. Saturday in the sun, but for the day you watch this video, just enjoy yourself, and please respect those around you, knowing the difference, the relative, and thank you. Raphael, 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus. Sometimes a little color might cheer you up.